You are a graduate fresh out of the university, seeking to get your foot in the door in a highly competitive industry. Already, you have the talents and necessary qualifications, but you will need the help of personal and professional contacts to grant you access to those people and places that appreciate the quality of your work and will assist you in getting started. Just one little problem. It is a highly competitive industry, and to stay at the top, individuals must fiercely protect themselves from talented rivals like you who could potentially disrupt the way they have always worked. Their strategy? Gatekeeping. I'm Habeeb Abdul, a participant in the ongoing Alem Telecoms Academy Virtual Internship Program, and the topic before me asks if telecommunications companies can thrive in the absence of interconnection to existing networks. First, some key things. Under Section 157 of the Nigerian Communications Act 2003, interconnection refers to the physical and logical linking and connection of communication systems used or operated by the same or different licensees in order to convey messages to and from the respective systems for the provision of services. Section 96 builds on this by stating that if a network services or facilities provider receives a request for interconnection from another licensee, then the service or facilities provider shall have an obligation to interconnect its communication systems with other licensees' network at technically feasible locations. Two important insights. One, interconnection is similar in principle to your ability to network with those crucial individuals who enable you to access the vast opportunities in your industry as stated in Section 157. In telecommunications lingo, it is the ability of Glo users to be able to call MTN subscribers regardless of the fact that they represent a smaller customer base than MTN's. 2. According to Section 96, whether you are established or only an upcoming player, the law prevents gatekeeping, especially if you request access. Having stated that, there are clear arguments in favor of interconnection. The biggest, perhaps, is the facilitation of an integrated telecommunications network across the country, which consequently results in easier and faster communications for businesses across multiple sectors. For upcoming telecommunications companies, interconnection definitely sounds practical from a business perspective. After all, if a SIM card does not promise you an ability to call all networks, you're unlikely to purchase it. And if no one uses the service, the company makes no money. But there is a price for new companies. Interconnection with an existing service provider, known as the dominant party, means that the company who made the request must devote certain amount from its revenue at predetermined intervals as the cost of reliance on the other party's network. Invariably, the effect is that smaller companies tend to be indebted to bigger competitors for interconnection charges, similar to the accusations of non-payment against Globacom in 2019 and early 2024. The amounts paid as interconnect rates also inherently mean that these new companies, which are already handicapped by their market share, expend limited resources on maintaining linkages to other players when the same could be used for improving their businesses. What then are the available alternatives to interconnection? One is investment in the use of non-terrestrial networks, such as satellites in the telecommunication services, similar to Starlink and Turaya. This is a practicable option because the current Nigerian telecoms market is saturated in favor of major players, meaning that attempts to enter into niches in which they are already established puts the prospective entrants at a disadvantage. As a result, exploring non-terrestrial alternatives can allow fresh participants an opportunity to compete through the provision of better internet services and even penetrate remote areas where connection is typically unavailable. Also, it allows them leverage in negotiating with dominant companies in the sense that satellite systems can be used to complement terrestrial infrastructure such as base transceiver stations commonly in use with legacy telcos. Alternatively, these service providers can also consider entering into lease agreements with government satellite service providers such as the Nigerian Communications Satellite Limited, NIGCOMSAT, saving them the need to procure their own infrastructure. In response to concerns such as high cost for consumers, two issues must be acknowledged. The first being the overwhelming market share of established companies, which leaves few options anyways. And the second, the possibility of securing patronage from enterprise clients such as private companies in the extractive industry and non-governmental organizations working in remote areas. Other approaches such as competitive pricing, business automation to lower operating costs, and reliance on prior existing infrastructure can enable new companies to chart viable alternatives to interconnection. Thank you.